So this question's asking us to solve the square root of 3 minus x is equal to x minus 1. All right, so the first step to solving this would be to square both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this since I'm going to type my solutions, and we're going to square both sides. So I'm going to take the left-hand side and square it, and the right-hand side, and I guess I'm going to use a bracket, but I'm still going to square it. All right, so on the left, the square and the square root are inverse operations. They undo each other, and we're left with the 3 minus x. And on the right-hand side, when you square a binomial, x minus 1, we need to multiply it by itself. So I'm going to have to do x minus 1 times x minus 1. So I've got 3 minus x equals x times x is x squared. And then I'll have x times negative 1 is minus 1x. Minus 1 times x, another minus 1x, and then the plus from the 1 times 1 right here, plus 1. All right, so just going to clean up these middle two terms while we're working. I've got minus 1x minus x, so I'm going to make that minus 2x. All right. Also, because this is quadratic, we're going to get everything on the right-hand side because the x squared is already positive over there. So we're going to subtract this 3 and add this x over to get it equal to 0. So we'll have 0 equals our x squared. I've got negative 2x here. I'm going to add this 1x over. So negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1x. I've got a positive 1 here. I'm going to subtract this 3 over. So 1 minus 3 is negative 2. And then we're going to try to factor this. So I know this is going to factor into two parentheses. The only way to make it 2 is with a 1 and a 2. And now we need to do the signs. If we're going to have it being a negative 1 in the middle, the 2 is going to have to be negative and the 1 is going to have to be positive. So those multiply to a negative 2 and they add to a negative 1. All right, let me move this up a little bit. Now we are in the process now of setting each of these equal to 0 and solving. So we'll have x plus 1 equals 0. And that means that x is equal to negative 1. And the other one would be x minus 2 is equal to 0. And that one, if you add the 2 to both sides, would mean that x is equal to 2. So I have these two potential solutions. Now, each time I solve a square root equation like this, there is the potential for an extraneous solution. So it's not guaranteed that one or both of these solutions work. So we have to go ahead and check both of them. So I'm going to copy my equation here from the top, and we're going to go down here and check each one. So first of all, I'm going to check the negative 1 solution. So for each of my x's, I'm going to replace them with negative 1. And we're going to see if this is true. So this would be the square root of 4 equal to negative 2, and that is not true. So that means that our solution over here, our potential solution of x equals negative 1 is not really a solution. That's an extraneous solution. That doesn't work. That check did not come out true because the square root of 4 is 2. It's not negative 2. All right, so that one didn't work. So we'll go back and attempt to check the other one. So I'm just copying this again. And we're going to put 2 in. Okay, so we're going to check 2 for x. So if I check this one, I got the square root of 3 minus 2, so that's 1, equals 2 minus 1, which is 1. Square root of 1 is 1, so 1 equals 1, and that one is true. So there's only one solution to this question that actually works when I check them. The first one that I got, the x equals negative 1, is an extraneous solution. It does not actually solve the question. Only the solution 2 solves the question because it checks in the original answer. And that's very common with these radical questions, especially if you get 2 answers, that one of them is usually extraneous. So back over to our question. That's what they had given us as the correct answer. So if we did input both of those, this one really didn't work. And so that's the reason that it's not included.